Oh man, I think PulseChain is going to be delayed. Richard Heart is coming out with a V4. Now don't cry.
No.
Can you get up and stop being a baby and stop crying?
Oh, my face. Oh.
What's going on, y'all? You're now watching the greatest channel that has ever existed. My name is 𝘕𝘰𝘯𝘦, and I truly appreciate you guys for being here with me. So as you can see in the thumbnail, and as you saw before, as you might have heard, PulseChain is now coming out with version 4 or V4. V3 is not going to be the last version of the testnet. We're now going to have a new testnet version called V4, and therefore PulseChain is going to be delayed. Now, why is it being delayed? Why is there a V4? Let's explore it right now by going to Twitter. Now, he says right here in this tweet, PulseChain.com news, V4 inflation upgrade next week. PulseX news just needs to bridge to Ethereum testnet to get a dummy stablecoin bridged over to show dollar values in the stats page. The transactions can be seen at the bottom. Okay. So unfortunately, that literally means that we're coming out with a V4. It's about the inflation upgrade because there is a worry, there is a problem that the people that are the validators that secure the network for PulseChain might not receive enough APR, might not receive that much return on their investment for becoming validators, okay? In fact, another Twitter person that's in the hex space, that's in the crypto space, KDP Crypto says, PulseChain GitLab update. Richard has confirmed PulseChain's inflation percentage will be changed. It appears this will entail a hard fork to V4 testnet. Supply and inflation are defined in the Genesis block, hex PS, for those who doubt. This is not bearish. Yeah, so this is going to change the inflation percentage rate. The inflation percentage rate is therefore probably, maybe, kinda, is going to change the validator percentages that you get if you validate the network. And this is pretty much just to help out the entire ecosystem. It's going to burn more, and when you burn more and there's less supply, there's higher demand. And this is related to the inflation. Okay, and in fact, Richard then decided to apologize later, of course, because he saw the backlash that he got. He says that, I'm sorry for saying V3 would be the final testnet. I really thought it would be. I prefer the safer and more secure public testing of what will become mainnet instead of testing in production. Yes, he hates doing things in production. He never wants to do anything in production. Okay, so then he also says, I choose security over rushing. I like bragging about 100% uptime and flawless operations. And then people, of course, gone on to him. They were explaining the backlash, and they were explaining, they were trying to cope through jokes. I made many jokes myself. The first person said that people aren't mad because V4 announcement. People are mad because they've been lied to for the last 3 years instead of getting a clear message. Don't get me wrong. I like Richard Heart, and I'm a Hexican since the AA days. Just stating fact. Then Richard Heart himself said V4 with a smile on his face, testnet V4. And then he also says the more finer testnet. I guess you have to laugh at yourself to make yourself feel better. Other people said, Crypto Perfecta said PulseChain V4B on the way, 2 more weeks. And then you see this funny meme right here. When mainnet V4? Oh, don't cry. V4B is soon coming. Yes, I don't know. This is just, oh man. And then, of course, Trayvon James says that V4, you can't make this stuff up. Well, actually, you can for a very long time. PulseChain is proof. Ooh, sick burn, sick burn. Ryan Huntgate actually tried to give more of a nuanced approach to this. He says most enterprises use a continuous development, which is also similar to continuous integration. If you're a software developer, you know what that is. Strategy, where as long as commits pass all tests, it auto deploys to production. Blockchain doesn't work like that because you're effectively starting over every time with a clean slate. Sounds worse than it really is, okay? And then Crypto Fitness says, V4? Damn, didn't see that curveball coming. Maybe V4 is mainnet and Richard is trying to wash out the bad actors and people who doubted. That will be a savage move. I never doubted. Did you? Listen, so this is bad, I'm not going to lie, but it's not as horrible as you think it is for 2 reasons. The delay is not as bad as it seems. The burn rate is probably going to be changed. to become more deflationary. And if there's less supply, there's more demand, like I said. And also, these changes are not as dramatic as you honestly think they are. There's probably going to have to change about maybe 10 to 20 lines of code, and they're going to just do a lot of testing. The testing has been going on for about 2 weeks now, so they're probably going to start doing their testing from scratch. All the V3 testing has been done. They're just going to do it again. And because we've been doing V3 testing for about 2 weeks, the actual final release date is going to probably just take 2 weeks longer, 2 or 3 weeks longer than it initially was going to take to come out. So what does this mean? This means that PulseChain is probably not going to come out in May. I know people have been joking that PulseChain is going to come out in mid-May because he said mid-May in 2022. And to be a troll, he was going to come out with it in mid-May in 2023, but it's probably now going to come out in June of this year. Worst case scenario, I still think the worst case scenario, even though this is bad news, I still think the worst case scenario is that it's going to come out in July of this year. Okay. So worst case scenario is going to be coming out in about 3 months. It's not the end of the world. It does suck. We're going to be poor for a little bit longer, but it's okay. We'll survive with this. Thank you, 𝘰𝘰𝘯𝘦, for your honesty. I know people are whooping your ass in the comments right now, but you know what? It's better to be honest than to string us along and lie to us. So I'm giving you guys this update because I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's get this money, hopefully by July. Watch this video.